Pranam everyone, welcome once again. So, in our effort to understand about the National Curriculum Framework for Foundational Stage, today we will be covering section 1.3.3, 3.4 and 3.5. So let's begin quickly. Section 1.3.3 covers the specific goals for early childhood care and education which have been set by NEP 2020. So there are three main goals, specific goals, which have been set for early childhood care and education. The first one is achieving universal provisioning of quality early childhood development, care, and education as soon as possible. This is also given in para 1.1 of NEP 2020 document. The second one is attainment by all children of optimal outcomes in the domain of physical and motor development, cognitive development, socio-emotional ethical development, cultural artistic development, and development of communication and early language, literacy, and numeracy. This one is explained in para 1.2 of NEP 2020 document. The third specific goal for ECCE is institutionalization of flexible, multifaceted, multi-level, play-based, activity-based, and inquiry-based learning comprising of languages, numbers, counting, colors, shapes, indoor and outdoor play, puzzles and logical thinking, problem solving, drawing, painting, and other visual art, craft, drama, and puppetry, music, and movement, in addition to a focus on developing social capacities, sensitivity, good behavior, courtesy, ethics, personal and public cleanliness, teamwork, and cooperation. Again, this one is explained in para 1.2 of NEP 2020 document. So, NEP 2020 states that the foundational stage begins at age 3 and ends at age 8, that is, 5 years of schooling from preschool to grade 2. So, children should therefore begin grade 1 at the age of 6 years. Moving forward to section 1.3.4, which tells us the guiding principles for the foundational stage based on NEP 2020. So, there are many guiding principles which we need to follow for the foundational stage. Let's get them quickly. Every child is capable of learning regardless of the circumstances of birth or background. Each child is different and grows, learns, and develops at their own pace. Children are natural researchers with great observational skills. They are constructors of their own learning experiences and express feelings and ideas through different representations. Children are social beings. They learn through observation, imitation, and collaboration. Children learn through concrete experiences using their senses and acting upon the environment. Children's experiences and ways of learning must be acknowledged and included. Children learn best when they are respected, valued, and fully involved in the learning process. Play and activity are the primary ways of learning and development, with continuous opportunities for children to experience, explore, and experiment with the environment. Children must engage with material, activities, and environments that are developmentally and culturally appropriate and develop conceptual understanding and problem solving. Content should be drawn from the experiences of children. The novelty of the content or its challenges should be based on the familiar experiences of children. Content should be suited to the developmental needs of children and should provide several opportunities for fantasy, storytelling, art, music, and play. Equity in issues such as gender, caste, class, and disability should be emphasized in the content. Teachers should facilitate and mediate the learning of the children. Scaffolding should be provided by asking open ended questions, enabling exploration. Family and community are partners in this process and are involved in multiple ways. Care is central to learning. Children at this age naturally perceive familiar adults as caregivers first. Teachers should be sensitive and responsive to the needs and moods of children. Classroom activities must emphasize the emotional aspect of learning, for example, through storytelling or art. The foundational stage is a single curricular and pedagogical phase which comprises 5 years of flexible multi level play and activity based learning for children between 3 and 8 years of age. NEP 2020 sees these early years as critical to development and learning. Education in these years must focus on developing foundational capabilities and skills. These comprise cognitive, linguistic, and socio emotional skills for the development of which the early years represent the most sensitive period. They prepare the bedrock for children to learn academic reading and writing and numeracy as they mature, as well as provide a foundation for lifelong learning. Okay, so now let's move to section 1.3.5, which tells us about the key recent initiatives on NEP priorities. So there are three main initiatives which have been taken. The first one is Nipun Bharat, second one is Vidya Pravesh, and third one is Bal Vatika. So let's talk about Nipun Bharat first. Nipun Bharat mission was launched in 2021, and the meaning of Nipun is National Initiative for Proficiency in Reading with Understanding and Numeracy. And this is a national mission for attaining the goals of foundational literacy and numeracy in the country as directed by NEP 2020. Nipun Bharat aims to achieve FLN by 2026-27 for all children in the country by grade 3. Now, the challenges of achieving FLN have become deeper and more widespread because of the learning loss due to school closure during the pandemic. So, Nipun Bharat brings a focus on strategic implementation as well as clear indication of the necessary structures and roles and responsibilities which are critical for meeting the goals outlined in Chapter 2 of NEP 2020. It has done an excellent job in focusing attention on this critical issue, and work has begun across the country on the same. It must continue full steam on this important task. The elements of Nipun Bharat, which are curricular in nature, are curricular goals and competencies which will be aligned to the NCF. Next is Vidya Pravesh. Now, let's know about what is Vidya Pravesh. Vidya Pravesh is based on the deep emphasis that NEP 2020 lays on attainment of the goals of FLN for all children. The policy expresses the concern that since we are yet to attain universal access to ECCE, a large proportion of children already fall behind within the first few weeks of grade 1. To help overcome this gap in learning, a 3-month play-based school preparation module has been proposed as an interim measure. Vidya Pravesh has been developed by NCERT for students entering grade 1. It will be transacted over 3 months with 4 hours a day devoted to familiarizing children with the school environment and to provide experiences for maintaining well-being. Vidya Pravesh will also enable the learning of ethical values and cultural diversity and interaction with the physical, social, and natural environment. In addition to these aspects, Vidya Pravesh will be designed to build the foundations of mathematics, language, and literacy in alignment with the learning outcomes of Nipun Bharat. The last one is Balvatika. NEP 2020 states that prior to the age of 5, every child will move to a preparatory class or Bal Vatika, which is before class 1 and which has an ECCE qualified teacher. This thing is mentioned in para 1.6 in NEP 2020 document. The Bal Vatika program is envisaged as a one-year program before grade 1, which is meant to prepare children with cognitive and linguistic competencies that are prerequisites for learning to read, write, and develop number sense through a play-based approach. NCERT has developed guidelines and processes for 3 years of preschool, including the Bal Vatika. So now let's conclude this chapter. The NCF aims to build a curriculum framework for the foundational stage that realizes the goals of NEP 2020, taking into account the extensive worldwide research on ECCE, leveraging the rich ECCE traditions of India, and building on the recent initiatives already launched, such as Nipun Bharat and Vidya Pravesh, in order to have an early childhood care and learning ecosystem for all of India's children that is second to none in the world. So, we have discussed and learnt about section 1.3. Here, section 1.3 finishes, and we will meet again with section 1.4. Pranam.